Hey everyone, welcome to the garden that is Send Us Flowers, where we only curate the best vibes. And today, to help me curate those vibes, is Angie Stocker, an amazing comedian, a wonderful mother, a podcast host in general, and you do really cool crafts on your podcast called Highly Crafty.
Yes, I do. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so excited for you to be here today. This is awesome. So I have a few things that I want to do and talk about. So in honor of, all of your just like epicness in the craft world, I thought I saw this. I want to give a shout out to, oh my God, I totally blanked on the writer's name. But
I don't know who did. Yeah,
I'll link it in the bottom. But I saw this really cool article on Leafly on decorating lighters, and so I thought it would be fun to talk today and decorate some lighters. We don't have to get like crazy. I mean, you can get it. You're really like. Mine is not probably going to look as good as yours. Maybe I should put myself down right out the gate.
Just sometimes because simplicity. Like I'm seeing all of these beautiful stones you have and I'm like, yes, I have a vision.
You have the vision?
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm still working on my vision, so we'll get there. But so today we're going to be decorating some lighters. I also want to talk about being a mom in weed who, publicly consumes cannabis and what it's like breaking those barriers down and breaking that stigma, because it is really crazy that people can't post weed like wine.
Oh my God. Like it's ridiculous. Like the amount, like I was shadow banned for an entire year. Like no one could see anything from me, and I think to me, because I have a lot of friends who are the wine moms and I just, it just kind of gives me that little, especially as someone who is educated. Like I have taken a lot of time to educate myself on cannabis and all things cannabis, because when you're a mom, you do kind of get flack and you do want to know what you're doing, and so for me, it's just the more educated you are, the better prepared you are to combat.
Yeah.
I haven't smoked yet.
No, it's okay. We can pretend. We have a huge rip before this. But And so on top of that, I also want to talk about, what it's like just in general being a woman, a Black woman in cannabis right now. Yeah. It's an interesting environment. And so I want to know, how do you feel? And, what are people doing right that you like? And what do you want to see more of? And then I know that you also, you're a comedian. You also do bud tending. And so I just want to hear like what you're up to. What are some upcoming things we can look forward to? And just in general, what's in your bag? Because you always know what's good. And I want to know what you're smoking on. And especially you were mentioning some of, like you're working now on your tolerance and how that's going for you. Where are you at? So
it's been crazy too, because I, for me, it's my tolerance, I feel like, is just always pretty high or naturally high, because I do like edibles. So that tends to up it a little. But I know now that I've started educating myself more and that there's more stuff out there that I can incorporate CBD and CBG, and that there's hemp flower and all these different ways to like help myself. I'll use mindfully, but also just keep my tolerance in check. And, I just went to Europe. I went on a little birthday trip to Europe. And it was wild, because I was like, okay, my dose is like 150 milligrams, of edible. And I was like, that's really expensive. This is going to get pricey. Reel it in, bitch. So,
no, seriously. Yeah. And even as weed becomes more accessible, at least physically, it is so expensive. But so speaking of flower, we have some very nice flower today. I found a really cool platinum blue dream from a new to me brand, Passiflora.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a little, the handwriting's interesting, like the logo, I think that's what it says.
Passiflora, that's what it is.
But I thought it was really tasty, and so we can smoke some flowers while you send some flowers, because I'm sending flowers to you, and I want to know who you're sending flowers to today.
I definitely have to send flowers to my husband. He is just the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, I'm a comedian, but I'm also I went to acting school. So I'm perhaps a tad dramatic at times. And I've always been someone who's very particular and like just like what I like, certain things, certain way. And he just it really does well at rolling with it. He does well at me, you know, when I'm like, I want to smoke weed online, you know, or whatever, like it is. Yeah. He's like, all right, let's do this. Like, I got the kids. You go do what you got to do.
Right. And what sign is really he?
Supportive. He's a Libra.
And what are you? You just had your birthday.
I'm a Capricorn.
Ooh.
Yeah, I read in some book, like there was some book at a house I used to nanny at, and it was like, the worst person for a Capricorn to be paired with is a Libra. And I'm like,
no way.
Interesting. I was like, I wonder if he's just living in hell and not saying anything about it. Because I'm over here blissful. Like, yeah, like
everything's
union.
Great over here. I mean, I think that it sounds like he's very supportive. So I think that book was a lie. And
that part.
It sounds like you two, you know, also have a lot of great communication because it would take that to do what you do.
For sure.
I mean, he's very supportive of you smoking. I mean, he showed up in the middle of our recording.
Yeah. He's like, what, do you want me to start dinner? Or whatever. Like, no, babe, it's good. You know, but he's always just been like very supportive and very there for me and always trying to learn because as a white guy, you know, like there are blind spots that he has. And sometimes I want to be frustrated and it's just like, oh, why don't you get this? And then it's like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forget where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, like just watching, like I love history. We watch history shows together and he's like, well, at the time that person was, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. You know, like there is always someone on the right side of history, you know? And so it's just like, I have to like remind him, but he's always so open to like hearing that and learning.
That's awesome.
And, you know, just really progressing himself. And so I'm like grateful that he's not, you know, I'm from Indiana, stuck in my ways, rural guy, like whatever. I'm glad that he's open. Like he's what, you know, like I'm why we left Chicago.
Really?
Like he had never lived more than like 100 miles away from his hometown. And like,
oh, okay.
You know, I was like, Chicago's cool, but like, what about somewhere else?
What about LA?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And so he was just like, let me see what openings my job has and got transferred here. And, you know, like he's just he deserves all the flowers.
I love that. I love it. Okay, he does deserve all the flowers. Right? And does he smoke flowers?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's like, we bond over that. That was kind of, one of the things that we really bonded over because it was just like I know a lot of women who say that their partner doesn't smoke, and I'm like, how the fuck does that work? Like, what do you do? Not like, what do you do? Like, obviously, there's things,
I
but
understand.
it is, you know, it's something that I'm just like,
there is definitely a connection there, and a lot of people, you know, who do have significant others that smoke absolutely say that it plays a really positive role in their relationship.
For sure.
And so I'm curious, you know, when you both started having kids, was it a conversation about, you know, smoking weed? Like, did you, if you're comfortable saying, did you smoke weed when you were pregnant?
So with my first pregnancy, I didn't because there was no information.
Right.
I didn't know anything.
Right.
And I was terrified.
Of course.
I had fibroids. And so I was like,
okay. Yeah.
It might be hard for me to get pregnant. Like, who knows?
Right.
And so then when I got pregnant, I was like, okay, don't do anything. Nobody move. Nobody breathe. You know, like, let's just make sure that this fetus stays in here.
Right.
All right. Let's, you know. Yeah. And like, I luckily, after I had my son, like like 7 months, but I found this mom group that was just like full of Burning Man moms.
Oh, that's so
And like,
cool.
I just lucked out and they, you know, it was just like talking to them and like hearing their resources. Like one of them was a grower even, you know, it was just like this whole new world. And it gave me new resources. And I saw firsthand, it was like, oh, wait, you didn't quit smoking at all? Or like you did edibles? Like you just like hearing all this and like seeing that and then being able to do more research on my own with my second pregnancy, I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I don't have to like stop like anything. Like I can maybe, you know, like I did explore edibles more, but you know, and like probably cut back. I didn't smoke as much, but it was just something nice to have like on those moments when I felt nauseous. You know, like my pregnancies were awesome. I fucking love being pregnant. Like I would stay pregnant forever, honestly.
So many people have such mixed experiences.
Yeah. And so I felt lucky.
Yeah.
And there were times when I was like nauseous or just over it or whatever.
Right.
And it felt good to know that it was like, okay, I can go like take an edible. I can go hit my bowl, and I don't have to feel like bad about it.
Yeah.
And I just feel like too, if it helps you, like, then it's helping the baby. It's helping, you know, your well-being.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like for me, it was really nice to have the support and just the resources. That's one thing, like the education. We just don't have that. And so it's hard for people to make informed decisions and feel good about, you know, like what they're choosing to do. So it was nice, you know, just I feel like having that support and the resources and the education is huge.
Yeah.
And then it makes it easy for me to be like, okay, well, I know what I'm talking about. You know, like
right.
I got interviewed last year by the LA Times Green Room publication.
So cool.
Yeah, for like Canna moms or whatever. And it was awesome because at the end of the interview, he was like, you guys are just so educated. You're probably like the most educated people I've talked to. Like, this is great. And it felt good to like have that and know what I'm talking about and just be well versed. And like, it makes you feel confident in your decisions. So, yeah. Huh. But it is definitely, there's so much judgment around being a mom and just like, oh, you need that or you have to do that to enjoy your kids. And it's like, no, I have to do that because if I can play with my kids and think about the dishes and the mess we're making and this and that, or I can play with my kids and just have fun and enjoy them.
And be fully present.
And quiet, that noise. It's like I'm not smoking so that I can like escape anything. I'm smoking so that I can like hone in and like, you know, like really tune in to what I'm doing and who I'm with. And yeah, it makes such a big difference.
Yes.
Such a big difference.
And I mean, so many parents, I feel, battle every generation with how to raise their kids. I mean, I don't have kids, but I even am like, oh, well, I would never do that. Or I would absolutely, like, this is the only way I would do that. And it's so easy to say when you're not in those shoes. But like, I can't, especially now, even imagine like some of the pressures that a parent goes through of like, what not to do, and you're supposed to do things this way or you're gonna fuck up your kid, and like, which I'm terrified for. And I don't even have a child, and I'm like, I'm terrified of fucking them up. And so how do you deal with that? Like, honestly, I'm really not kidding.
I think that's like how well, it's just funny because it's valid. Like, everyone feels that way. Like, especially,
this is a very real question.
Yes. Everyone feels that way, you know, like you're worried about that stuff, but that's why like having something like cannabis to rely on, you know, can help you to sort through and hone in on what really matters. And it's like, you want to raise children who are going to be good people, you know, they're going to be kind and they're going to be strong and know how to handle situations. Like, so that is kind of the focus, is like, what is the best way? What is science or whatever, the, you know, experts, what is the proven ways that work? And it's like, you know, I love respectful or gentle parenting, whatever, because it just makes sense. It's kind of how I nannied. I nannied for 10 years before I had kids. Yeah. And it was just like, people always commented like, oh, it's so good, you know, like whatever. And I'm like, because I treat them like they're people. Like, they're not my people. I mean, I do call them my tiny little nuggets, but I know that in reality, they are not mine. You know, it's like I'm raising them to be their own person, whoever that may be. And so I have to try and get out of my own way. So it honestly helps with like the self-reflection and the like, looking inward and being like, okay, well, why does that normal behavior for a child trigger me? You know, and like, okay, let's take a breath. Let's get to know them. Let's talk about like, okay, I understand that you're feeling this way. Can you, how can I support you? You know, like, whatever. But it's just being mindful. And what helps more with being mindful?
Of course.
You know, like having a little tool. And that's why I'm trying to like incorporate more cannabinoids and like find different, and like, I love that there's such depth to cannabis that you can really dive in and explore all the different aspects and all the different cannabinoids and what receptors and where they are. And like, it's fucking amazing.
I mean, you can nerd out forever. I think we're at like, I think you'll be episode 42, and I have no plans on stopping. Just I'm sorry or you're welcome, but But you know, I like there's so much to talk about and explore. And once you think you're like, okay, I got it. There's something completely new to understand, or like a different way of looking at it, a new perspective. And so I know you've mentioned mindfulness, and you were talking earlier about kind of playing with your tolerance, and I want to hear more about that. Have you taken a full tolerance break?
I have. So like actually I want to say like October or September, around that time, I did like a 2-week no cannabinoids, no THC, no nothing break, just because I think I just was like, oh, like I just get annoyed with having to eat like a whole pack of gummies, like,
right,
to like have a good kicking it kind of night.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, let's just not do anything and see how it happens. But then, being like, I was working at a dispensary. I don't work there anymore. But when I was working there, it was like, oh, here, we have this new infused joint. Like, try it and write a review about it.
Totally.
Or like this edible. And it's like, okay, well, like it. So it was hard to really stop. And so this time I was like, ooh, let's try a different approach. Like, let's just like incorporate more hemp flower, like, and I found that there's like CBG flower, and I love CBG is like my
CBG
shit.
flower.
Yes. I've never, like, this is my first time trying the flower, but like edibles and drinks and things with CBG. I just love the boost and the mood. Like, it gives you this mood boost, and it kind of just adjust your, like, I start my day with like a CBG tincture, and I definitely notice a difference in when I do and when I don't. Like sometimes on the weekend I won't like do it, and then it's kind of like, oh, why is everything like bothering me right now? And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, But it's nice that it gives you that little like, okay, I got this, or you can like focus. And it kind of, so I'm just really enjoying exploring CBG more.
Right.
And like CBD, that's always been there. Like whenever I try to get my tolerance down a little bit, I like cut out concentrates and mix, CBD flower with my weed.
You were saying mids?
Yeah, the mids. I buy mids and then I mix it with,
Sorry, I had to call you out a little bit. I thought that was hilarious. With your mids.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta bust out mids.
Also, I don't want to stop you from crafting, with my questions and all. I did start mostly because I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I think I have more of a vision now. But yeah, so CBG, that's super interesting. I didn't realize that you could have CBG flower.
Right? Me neither. I went to
new to me. Like, what?
Right? I went to Plain Jane website.
No way.
And they had, like a CBG flower. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's get down on this shit.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. And I'm, like, I'm always trying to explore new stuff. And
for sure.
I just definitely noticed when I would take edibles that had that cannabinoid, I was like, oh, wait, okay. I like this. This shift, this mindset shift.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just fun exploring.
So what is it like having, that mindfulness factor, meeting with the presence, spending time with your kids?
It's, it's really nice. Like, and especially lately, like I've noticed that it is like by incorporating CBG and CBD and CBN even, it's, it just gives me the, like it quiets the noise and helps me focus so that I can like hone in on being who I want to be with them. Like I want to be, I don't want to be thinking about the responsibilities of the day. I want to be thinking about what they're telling me, because they tell the funniest fucking stories, and like they're so cute sometimes together. When I'm walking them to school, they like tell each other little secrets, or they're holding hands, and like I want to be able to enjoy that and not be like, okay, come on, hurry up, we want to get there, like I want to be able to just like take it all in and listen to the stories and really be able to know all the details. Like I know all the fucking details for everybody in my house. I'm on top of everything. And so like I want to be able to do that. And that helps with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just really helps me be who I want to be and enjoy the moment and like be in the moment and like not think about all the other things that I have to do or what I have to do after, what I didn't do, or just focus on being present. So,
do your kids know that you smoke or consume cannabis?
For sure. Like they know all the little, because I was growing. I like tried to grow a plant for a while.
Oh yeah.
So they like helped me. They knew it's like mommy's plant because I like had
so cool.
You know, like usually I have like cannabis leaves on me somewhere or like a bong or something. You know, I make my own clothes.
I know.
So
You
like
you have weed earrings right now.
Yeah. And so I'm always really open. And they know what it is. My son can identify the like little triangle thing on cannabis, so he knows like that's not a drink for me, that's not a food for me. I lock away my shit. Like we have a locked cabinet that we keep it in to be responsible, you know. So it's like it's very open and everyone knows, and it's not something that's bad or taboo, like, because it's not, you know, like to me it's just like it's just another part of life and it's another medicine. It's another just like thing to have. So pretty. And I can't wait as they like get older to
I was gonna
combat more of you know, like just keeping them informed, because that's the main thing, is like you don't want the first place they hear about shit to be like at school or from a teacher or from you know, like no,
especially
like,
in
you
that
want
way.
To be open, in a negative connotation. Like no, they've been exposed, they know, like we don't smoke around them, and like it's just I think just being open. I think too my husband kind of struggles with it a little bit more than I do, because he's just from, you know, like he struggled with telling his parents, and I don't even know that he really ever outright told them. I was just like, I'm not hiding that shit, like whatever. I am a grown ass woman, and it's my house, you know, like I don't smoke in front of them, but it's just like I don't feel the need to act like I don't, or to, you know, like not so I just feel like it's something that people have to explore maybe on their own, but I've always just been kind of like, this is it. You know, this is me. Sorry if you're not into that, but nothing you say. Yeah, because I think my mother-in-law like tried to say something about it one time to him, like to my husband. Like, aren't you? Once she's a mother now, and it's like, and I'm also me. Like the fuck? Why would I change now? So I just think people, you know, you have varying degrees of, you know, how they feel about it or what they'll accept or be comfortable with. But.
So I'm curious, your identity as, you know, you. Yeah. But then also that changes, or does it, with your identity when you become a mother?
I mean, I don't really think, I think if anything, it just brought me more into my identity, or closer, because I was able to really reflect on myself. Like up until that time, I didn't need to. Right. You know, it was just like I could just be whoever I wanted to be, whatever. It was fine. But then when I had kids, it was like I was stuck at home with a child of my own. You know, I was a nanny. Usually I was just like, do whatever the parent says. Yeah. But now I was like, okay, well, what do I say? Yeah. But fuck. And so then it was just like, my house. Like I'm in charge. Oh shit. And it was time to really reflect and be like, okay, well, take a deep breath. This is your life. What are we going to do with it? You know, I had already started comedy. So I was like, that is like, oh, fucking, it's like it's addicting, a drug. I love it. I don't know. It's crazy. I just love comedy. And so I was like, that's not ever going anywhere. Right. You know what I mean? And like, obviously, you know, weed was never going anywhere. So it was like
none of these things were changing about me.
And so I was like, this has been the constant. Like I have a picture of me at like 3 years old sitting on my mom's lap at a sewing machine. Like, I'm gonna be a crafty bitch. And now it was like, okay, how can I do comedy, be a mom, and enjoy, you know, like have a brand, have a business. Right. And it was like, highly crafty. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like I need to network with comedians and I hate talking to people and networking. And how do I change that? Like, okay, invite comedians to your house to get high and do a craft, you know, like,
yes.
You know, start meeting people that way, make friends that way.
I dig that.
Network that way.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to hang out at like the bar and stuff. Because it's like, I'm a mom. I need to be at home.
Totally.
And so it kind of brought things, you know, like it was just a way, becoming a mom basically gave me highly crafty because it was a way for me to hone in and be like, okay, what do you want to do? How can you like make yourself and your family like really thrive in this world? And it was like, that can be it. So let's just figure out how to make it fucking work.
Okay, that is beautiful and such a cool and inspiring story.
Thank you.
Because you really allowed all facets of yourself to shine.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, you know? And I went to school for acting and like film and television. And that was just, you know, it was just proving not to be really what I wanted. Like, and that was kind of a hard blow, but it also gave me more drive to like do comedy and be in comedy and like really commit to it, as opposed to saying like, well, I'm doing comedy as a way to like do acting. And it's like, well, maybe I'm just doing comedy just because I love doing comedy.
Because you love it.
Like maybe it's just something that I really enjoy doing and have fun with and you know, tend to be okay at. And you know,
I guess you're all right.
But yeah, like
I've seen you perform. You're absolutely incredible. I was laughing so hard. I think you know, it's really brave to be able to put yourself out there in so many ways. But comedy especially, like you're up there in front of so many people and you have to make them laugh. What is that like? I mean, you said addicting, but you know, beneath that.
Because it feels like, I don't know. It feels like whenever you have like a really good set, like I've done a couple of shows in like the OC or in, you know, like that are kind of far away. And when you do that stuff, it kind of like after the show, when you have a good set and you're driving home and you're by yourself, you just kind of have this like, I'm on this, like, I got this buzz, like, I need to do something with it. Like, you know, and it just is this really awesome high and you're just reliving it like, oh my God, like, oh, that joke landed so good. Like, yeah. But it just ended up being something where I was like, man, I really enjoy this. Like, you know, like I want to do this. So yeah, I think it is just something where the more effort that I put into it and the more I practice it, I see the results, you know, like, and other people see the results. And so it's like, I just need a way to, you know, like have the space to like do that and really commit. And I think this is a good balance because, you know, comedy is something that I can do when my kids are in bed. Like I can put them to bed usually. And, you know, like just it gives me the freedom to pick and choose and kind of say like, okay, this is what I'm going to put my energy towards. Or like, okay, that's not working. Let's try this, you know, but still pursuing comedy, just figuring out different ways to make it work.
Absolutely. And so comedy, cannabis, these are two very male dominated fields. What is it like navigating both of them as a woman and a Black woman in both of these spaces where it is like, you know, a lot of late nights, it is a lot of like single men who are out there and doing things.
And I think that's why I kind of had decided that I have to find my own route because they're all like hanging out doing bro shit or like drinking stuff, you know, like I don't fucking really want to drink. I don't need a hangover. I'm good. And so it's hard for me. And that's why I think like finding my own way to network and my own people to support. And, you know, like I just went to a show, I want to say like on Saturday night. Like I, you know, didn't want to go because I had to go by myself, but I was like, just go, just fucking go. And boom, got booked. So, you know, it's just like getting out there and making sure that I'm staying out there in my own way will get me where I want to go. You know, like I randomly ended up getting a TV credit fucking just by somebody I knew, you know, from like being in a sketch comedy group. And she was like, oh, hey, saw this audition thing, sent in tape. They're like, oh my God, we love you. Come film it. And I was like, oh, hello. Like, yay. So I just feel like keep doing things my way and like keep practicing. Like, it's just, that's my thing, is just making sure that I'm staying out there.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily in the right clubs or trying to get here and there. It's just like, fuck it. I'm just going to do what feels good to me and like try to keep going and progress on my own terms.
On your terms. You read my, I was going to say that. I mean, that really like, and that's such a gift to be able to have the environment to do that in, you know, like a supportive family, a supportive husband who also partakes in that. I think that's really incredible.
Yeah. And I feel lucky that I get to, you know, have the space to do that. And
that's also not luck though. I feel like you're very good at setting boundaries.
True that.
And that's something.
I don't fucking play.
Yeah.
I don't play about my boundaries now. I do try to like, you know, keep the peace, you know, like my mental peace. And I've, you know, just especially lately, like the last, 4 or 5 years, just really prioritizing like, okay, there are certain boundaries you have to instill to like function as you want to. And I think that's really important. Sometimes it's hard to stick to and do, but it's like, it's always the goal, you know, like even if it's hard.
Yeah. Well, what brings you back to center when it is hard?
I have a family. I have my entourage. That's what I call them. But it does feel that way, you know? It's like they're always down for me whenever I feel like, oh, I'm not where I want to be. Like, but it's like, I always have them. And like, when I came back from my trip, they like decorated, like, we missed you so much.
That's so cute. Like, wait, that's so absolutely like, adorable.
Y'all are my crew for life. Oh my God, I love y'all. So like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like that is like what is the most important. And it's like, okay, they're down, they support, you know, like they are with me. So I'm able to do this and I'm good and I'm gonna fucking succeed.
For other
eventually
moms that are looking to connect and want to explore more in the cannabis world, what are some good resources for them or other moms to follow in the space?
Well, definitely Blunt Blowin' Mama and the Mommy Jane. I feel like those are the two who I, you know, have personally connected with the most, because I feel like their information and their way of disseminating it really connects with everyone, you know,
Absolutely.
Like it can connect with different demographics and all of that. So, I feel like that would be too, you know, it was when I first was like gonna start Highly Crafty and I was looking to get online and whatever, do my shit. I really was a little not confused, maybe I was just maybe a little confused by what I saw when I was looking for accounts. It was just not what I was expecting, you know. It was just like, oh man, like stoners used to be this way when I was younger, but I'm 40 now, so I'm like, I'm out of touch. And it's like, when did stoners get so like half naked and sexy and like white and like, you know, I'm like, where are the black girls at? Like, where are the thick chicks, you know, like. And so I had to actively seek out like weed for black women, you know what I mean? Or like all of Canna inclusive and all of it, like it was just black girls smoke. I had to be very specific, and that was kind of disheartening, I guess, because it's like, well, everybody's like, why are we not embracing the diversity of you know the users of this plant? Like, of course, hello. So
it's not just the one stereotype or whatever even that stereotype is or was.
It's just like, I was very like, what is going on? Like, where is, so that has been a little like, it was a surprise to me, honestly. I was just kind of like, oh, damn. Okay. I thought, you know, I just, I expected more embracing of diversity in this industry. And it was a little like, oh, so we're still Still doing that. Okay, cool. Good. Thank you. Memo has been received.
Right.
Like, so yeah, it's a little disheartening, but I also am like, I'm not going to stop. Like,
yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. And now you can be a resource.
I should be here too. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And just being educated and, you know, like I got really lucky and a friend recommended me for the, you know, LA Times piece because it was like, oh, my friend wrote a book and needs some Canna moms to interview. And I'm like, boom. Come on, blah, 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 mama, let's go. We're about to do this. So it was really nice to like be ready and know what I'm talking about. And it made me feel good to be like, oh shit, I do know what the fuck I'm doing. Ah, yes, you know, bitch know what she doing.
I gotta know what's going on sometimes. Yeah, I mean, when you put yourself out there, I feel like there's this trade-off. You know, you're like, it's kind of scary and you have to be brave and do the thing. Yes. But once you start doing the thing, your people come.
Yes.
Because they're like, hey, I do that too. Or like, I was looking for someone like that.
Yes. And it's really been so nice to be like, wait a minute. Yeah, like, okay, I got this. And I don't have to do it how someone else did it. I could just do me and like, fuck it. You know, like I had brunch with a friend recently and she was just like, you know, like when you're the first one to do something, sometimes it just takes a while. And, you know, but if it makes you happy, why would you stop doing something? You know, like, so yeah, I was just like, oh, I needed that pep talk.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for the reminder.
And I love the skits you put up and how you make it this more normal thing and you post, you know, that you're going to a wedding and you're going to smoke a bunch and try and make an outfit in 24 hours. Like, I swear.
My favorite thing to do. I know, I keep forgetting. I never remember to like do the ends.
You know what? Actually, this whole podcast was a trick. It was to get you here to yell at you because I have a show and I swear to God, if I see someone do this, I want 10% and Angie gets 80%. You can fit yourself somewhere in there. But I need the show where you're getting so lit and you're trying to make an outfit in 24 hours. And like, does she finish the outfit?
It's funny because I did. Like,
do you get to wear it? What's the before and after?
I know. I'm terrible
and
at filming them.
I never get it. I've asked you in the DMs probably at least 3 times. I can go back too. I could. And I've asked you at least 3 times to please at least do before and afters. And I haven't even gotten that. So I just want it to be known.
It has been requested by you. And I will. I'm going to do better. Because I was actually thinking of doing a reel. I was like, oh my God, I should put on the dress it, find the stories from when I did that so that I could put it together with the finished product.
Yeah.
Because actually, for one of them, I finished the dress, but I also made a belt to go with it. So that was really fucking cute. But yes, I'm going to do it. And I may make it a thing because I keep...
I want to see these things. What the fuck? That's why I asked for the before and after. Because you're like, it was really cute. I bet it was. I've seen your stuff. I want to see more. Like, give it to me, please.
I'm on it. I'm going to do it.
I need all of you.
I'm going to set reminders.
If you've made it this far in the episode, we need to just do like maybe a monthly harassment.
Yes, remind me.
We don't
keep
need,
me on it. It's like a test.
Bullying, like a lighthearted, fun, like
keep me on
in jest.
I will do
but
it.
Yeah, like what? Okay,
because I'm always making things.
What the
like quickly, and
Speaking of which, okay, so I.
Let me
Can
see.
we just compare?
It looks the same.
No, it doesn't. Yours
I'm
looks
gonna add another. I'm gonna do
mine
like a
is what I
more.
wanted. Yours is what I wanted. Mine. Not gonna lie. Okay, wait. Please hold yours up for the camera. I mean, it's pretty clear that.
Hey, I love it. Okay, it's very like rustic. I like that.
I was going for a more rustic look, and then it kind of was like falling off on the bottom.
Oh,
but okay. I don't know
that. But I think it looks good, right? Like, it
okay, but
adds
yours
to it.
Is like
I'm gonna add a couple more, like maybe like juk, something like that. There's like an extra little. Ooh, see,
I swear to God, if
crisscross is what it needs.
you don't get this little series up in the next month.
No, I want to do. Okay, see, it gives me something to do. A lot of times I'm just like, I don't know what to do. But then, you know,
I just told you what to do.
If you give me inspo.
I just told you, do
you
it.
Give me inspo. I'm on it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be like, you better work.
Oh my
girl.
God. Okay. I mean, we did. I'm like honestly shocked that this worked out, kind of. I mean, yours looks so good. It's so cute. That is what I was going for. I swear.
You did it. You just used a little more string than I did. Okay, girl.
Because it kept falling out.
I know. We'll see. I don't know if mine will stay. We'll have to see.
Okay, for all my audio listeners, Angie and I have been decorating lighters throughout this episode, and hers looks significantly better than mine.
No, they both look good. In their own special way, okay? When we craft, it is all good.
I had a very similar vision to hers, but it really just didn't turn out the same. Okay. There's a lot of excess like string around it honestly. I feel like I'm gonna try and push mine down a bit. So before we head out, what is in your bag? Is there anything that you want to show off?
Me? Oh.
The necklace.
My... I told you it's been a while. No. Well, you know, highly crafty. Hello. So, of course, I made my earrings. Hi. And my necklace is a grinder.
It's so cute.
Grinder sound.
Some little ASMR. Yeah.
But yeah, right? It's like bedazzled and fun.
Did you make that one?
I got it from like, you know, like a little swag bag thing, and it was just like a little keychain, I think.
That's so
And I took that
cute.
off and put some little, you know, hoops on there and bedazzled it.
Some zhuzh, yeah.
Bedazzled it a little bit.
I call it the zhuzh.
I love a little zhuzh. But yeah, you know, everything is highly crafty with me. It's always 420.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, you know, I always shout out myself, you know. It's me. Grinder necklace. Yeah.
I mean, it's so cute.
I want to make more. I can't figure out where to get mini magnetic grinders though. Because I was like, I want to make more of these, but I cannot for the life of me. I was even going to reach out, I think, to Weedsy, because I think that's whose brand was on here. And I was just going to be like, where did you get them?
Collab. It's a collab moment.
True that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
We have a business plan for you after this podcast. This is you've got a new show. You've got merch.
I do. I have built-in merch. Hello.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect. Thank you for coming here today.
Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
Thanks for letting me harass you. It was my whole secret mission.
You're in for the long
and
con.
I did it.
I knew it.
I've been waiting. I'm just kidding. Maybe.
But
you'll never know. Okay, so how can everyone find all your cool stuff?
Go to highlycrafty.com. And yeah, I've got a little blog there, which I'll post on more. But yeah, I've got a blog, and then I'm at Highly Angie on Instagram. And I mean, technically I am on Twitter, but I'm not ever on Twitter.
You're visible.
Which is fine now.
You have a handle there.
Yes. But yes, you can, you know.
I feel you.
See it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for watching another episode of Send Us Flowers. If you make, a little lighter decoration or do any crafting during this episode, please take a picture and share it. I'll even share mine. Like, don't be embarrassed. It can be any level of crafting, just as long as you did something and had fun. I think I had fun.
Yes,
that's what it's all about. So much fun.
I'm I'm pleased with this.
I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah. I'm like, wow,
see, like,
look at that.
What?
Creativity.
Especially if you do something like her level, please share and tag it.
No.
I would love to see that. And thanks again.
Yay.
We will see you next week. Thanks for watching Send Us Flowers.